Okay. How are we, everybody? Are we in live, excited, full of energy? All right, that was really poor, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started as we wait for more and more people to jump in. Okay, I'll get to it in a second. I'll address some housekeeping issues, if you will, right? So welcome to our team meeting today. For those of you that know me well, you know I love football.
Yes,
Hey,
you do.
no
I know
way.
for sure. No way. It's not.
I know. I like it a lot. The season started, so don't bug me on Monday nights, Thursday nights, or Sundays. And last week for the opening, right, I even had Friday night. So that was super fun. Yeah, so it was really, really good. So I get super inspired, super motivated by just professional athletes, right? Because they take their job seriously, right? And I wish that I could just take that mentality over into the real estate world for most everybody, right? So I'll just go ahead and, so Hayla. Yes. Do you want to read the motivational minute for today, please?
I'm the worst reader. Give somebody else.
Okay, Christine. You're not. And that's not a good affirmation.
No.
By the way.
You want to read it? Read it. We
That
love
accent,
it.
read it.
I observed that if individuals who prevail in a high competitive environment have any one thing in the common beside success, it is failure, and their ability to overcome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was beautiful. And so what does that was Bill Walsh, you know, head coach for the 49ers for a gazillion years. You know, he was just, huh?
I waited on him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what I did for the team, but I was back in my early 20s. I met him in a whole different capacity.
Wow.
Which
Now
is
that's to know.
actually interesting. I'll just shut up now. Like Eileen will tell me you talk too much. I'm like, no. No, I know. But it was so fun. Okay, so what does that mean to you?
If you have something in your mind, if you're in group, everybody competing, and they have one thing in their mind, if you think about something else, is failure.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, especially in a high competitive area, right? And do you think our real estate industry is more competitive than ever?
Yes.
Right now? Do you think we live, eat, breathe, dream, nightmares, right? Of yeah.
Good morning.
I know, don't talk about it, it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's that we're in a very highly competitive environment, right? Yeah, it's not the NFL, it's not the NBA, so on and so forth, but it is a highly competitive area. And we have one thing in common, we all succeed, right? And we get to succeed at whatever level that we choose to succeed and whatever our definition of success happens to be. But we also, we probably fail more than we succeed. Would you agree?
For sure.
Right, and then that's how we get to know, okay, what do I need to do to grow, right? Exactly. And what do we need to do? When I do have the failures, how am I overcoming it? Right, we've been talking about a lot about it. A mindset is how much headspace are you giving to the failures? How much headspace are you giving to your distractions in life, whether it's business or professional? Right, so you want to be very cognizant and aware of how your ability to overcome it. Is it water off a duck's back, right? What is it? Do you embrace it and then you walk through it instead of having it be an obstacle? Anyone else want to comment on the motivational minute? No? Okay. All right, so survival of the fittest. We've been talking about this all year. Remember, it's a new world. We think, speak, act differently. Are you selling your expertise? Right? Are you selling your expertise, and what shifts and or adjustments have, so cute, have you made and are continuing to make? Right? We've spoken a little bit about this morning, right? About what are we doing? Do you think that our industry is more fragile? That this is probably one of the most fragile times in our industry and our business?
What's that mean? What's it for?
Just we have more extreme circumstances than we have before, right? We have the NAR settlement, right? And we have, with that said, right, how are we, that's another one of those, you know, are we failing or are we succeeding in that? What is our mindset around that? Are we walking through it or are we being blocked by it? So we have low unit count, right? We've been dealing with the interest rates. Unfortunately, they're coming down a little bit, you know, Cindy will talk about that a little bit later. But we have, so what is your, but everything is mindset around it, right? Is your mindset around it. So are you, we have, do you feel like some of the things that you're working with are more challenging right now than it was in 2021? We had 2021, we had a ton of business, best ever for everybody, right? You could just go, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and you would get a business.
Yeah.
Right? But the circumstances are a little bit different right now. Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah, so so now what are you doing? Because there's certain things, what are you doing to prepare yourself for that? Do you think your prospecting, for example, or lead generating or building relationships, whatever, you know, phrase works best for you, what are you doing differently now than back then? Right? Do you believe that you may need to have more conversations, real estate conversations now than you did back in 21? Yes.
I went for listing presentation. When I got there, I saw packages and every web agent, you know, maybe 10 agents before me, they sent package the black book we make, you know, and I saw, oh, everybody are on the same page. We have to change. We have to give something other agent, they don't have it, you know? And they think, I got a listing because I mentioned about international market and I went to several countries. I met with the, you know, KW office and I had a video and showed it to them. They loved it. So I got a listing, but the thing is, I'm sharing with you guys, everybody's saying, using same package, same thing. Has to come with something different and getting more challenging, you know? This worked for me, but I don't know for other what I'm gonna use. But the thing is, yeah, to complete what you say, yeah, it's getting more challenging.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Because every real estate agent can say, oh, I do marketing, I do this, I do that, I put in the MLS, I put a for sale sign out, right? That's not gonna win you a listing anymore. Being able to have those difficult conversations, and a lot of times we talk about the, you know, that bad word confrontation, right? It's actually a great word, right? Confrontation doesn't have to be bad, but it's about having those, having the difficult conversations, right? And getting to the buyer and or seller's motivation, right? We talked about, in which Linda and I are gonna share with you, because we didn't get to last time, share with you some of the takeaways from Mega Camp last month. And one of the things was regarding really the pre-engagement with a client prior to signing an agreement, whether it be a BRBC or a listing agreement. It's really knowing your client, their needs, you know, because one of the bold laws, right? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this is really a time that we have to listen to their needs so we can advise them correctly. And sometimes when we go down at the questions, the best position for them may not be buying and or selling right now. Right? So we have to be very careful. We have to do everything that we can do to protect the integrity of our industry. right? And I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail about what the next thing I'm gonna say is, but there are big companies out there. For example, not that I'm gonna name any, but I'm gonna, Coldwell Banker, EXP, Compass, they have all created and using their own listing agreements. Right? They're not using the car forms and they're in, hold on, I have to make an announcement. Does anybody have a license plate that is KWC? Do you, you need to move it, or it's gonna get towed.
Where am I supposed to?
And another parking spot that doesn't say reserved.
Oh. Without the.
Huh?
I'll move it right
Yeah,
there.
okay, sorry.
Ah,
Sure. Oh, but I need it for when I, okay, sorry. No, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, so Coldwell Banker, EXP, Compass are using their own. Okay, and they're bringing back in cooperating broker compensation, which is in violation of the settlement. Now, keep in mind, and Chris and myself have been talking about this for a long time, as soon as the shizzle started happening, was the DOJ, everybody, the powers that be, are observing all of us. They're observing the social media, they're observing what everyone is doing, right? As to whether, because remember, the NAR settlement is still proposed.
but if
It's
that
not-
settlement State that you can't, in other words, that settlement state that you cannot discuss with the seller.
No, just in writing, there can't be any, you
on
know,
MLS, so it's can't be
Correct.
advertised in that type of setting,
But
but
they
in a
don't-
listing agreement, why not?
but they don't want that in there. They don't want anything about buyer broker or cooperating broker compensation for the other side in the listing agreement. Right, so that's where they're bringing in these other forms, but Coldwell Banker right now is, oh, you had an experience with it. Where they won't accept other forms.
No,
But-
they wouldn't accept the SPDB.
Yeah.
They wouldn't accept that, they're like, what do you mean? And so, yeah, so that was part of it.
Yeah.
But the one of the ones you mentioned, I looked at their RLA to look at it, and it was like 1.5 pages. There's like nothing to it. It's one little piece
Yeah.
of paper and not like, you know, the real deal at all.
Yeah, so we just have to be aware of that. So remember, we're doing everything that we can to protect you all, right? And to protect our industry, right? The rules have changed, right? Chris vote, and I'll get you the dates, in just a little bit, is gonna be here in person next week. So we're gonna have a couple, town halls, et cetera. Louisa.
Yeah, so I actually had, my client has sort of had a interesting thing with a forward banker agent during the open house. They wouldn't allow them to come into the property without signing, they wanted them to sign a VRC. Because then I wasn't there in person, and they wouldn't let them see the property. So I called the agent, because I was outside of the house, and I said, hey, my clients were there wanting to see the property. I'm not sure who the agent is, but they wouldn't let them see it. And you know what the agent told me? All they had to do was show them your VRC, the signed VRC you had with them. And I said, why would my client be, you know, it's a spur in the moment, like they saw the open house sign, they went in, why would my client be holding around a VRC sign? And then he was like, well, they could have just told them, like, you could have just called them like, again, spur of the moment. Like, why didn't your agent just listen to my client? Like, they could have given them my information. Why isn't that sufficient? And he's like, no, we're not letting anyone come in without a VRC sign or an agent on the stuff. But I'm not supposed to be a banker. I was like, oh, wow.
But that's not, but I wouldn't attribute that to Coldwell Banker. Agents can do whatever they wanna do.
Yeah.
Some people do it, you know, that's just, you know, that's.
It's, and to put his point, you know, I had clients that have had the RBC and went in, said they had it, and then the two agents said to them, oh, you know, we have small markets, some of you have your email anyway, and like this whole kind of thing, I was like, okay. So I'm considering what I want to do about that, but it was showing agents for another agent, I don't think he would appreciate it.
I think everybody's just getting very creative on what they want to do, where
Yeah.
they're in the field. And I think, it's just the conversations we're having now to fall and make sure there's compensation and make sure that that conversation is being had. Whether we're submitting an offer or we're doing anything else, it's just, different conversations, but I think everybody's getting very creative with what they're doing in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. What I would like for you all to do as well, if you can, because you all are out in the field, right? So you get these scenarios. So thank you for sharing, Louisa and Christine. If you guys can like keep a log a little bit of what you're experiencing and things, so then we can also have a conversation with Chris next week, right? Or just, ask, because sometimes it's just like, okay, how are we handling this? How are we handling that? So on and so forth. And we are still working on all our policies, et cetera. One that Chris and I are in conversation about, because he's overseeing 3 offices. So we're doing everything to make sure that compliance is the same amongst, well, really all of our affordable living offices, but in particular, the 3 that he's overseeing, right, is when you take a listing, well, you're supposed to do it anyway, but send it to compliance as soon as you have the listing signed. So then that gives us the opportunity to review your paperwork to protect you and your sellers, to make sure we're filling it all out correctly. Fair enough?
Good question. I know you mentioned it while I was out. If these brokerages create their own contracts, are they still covered by the E&O insurance? Because typically the E&O covers whatever the CAR wants.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that, because they wouldn't have to check with their, carrier. I mean, it's a great question. But when we do anything, like when we had the listing addendum, so on and so forth, whenever we get out new forms, we send it to our, especially if it's out of the ordinary, we send it to our attorneys, right? And we also ask, our carriers, just to make sure. So I can't answer that on behalf of the other brokerages. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. I know we have guest speakers that we're gonna get to. So, but yeah, what shifts and or adjustments have you made or you're making, right? What are you going to do? We want to continue to sharpen our axe as much as possible, so we're highly functional. And really my goal and our goal for this office is we have the reputation that if you're going to be represented by the best, then you come to Keller Williams Calabasas for the best, right? So we're doing everything to make sure that you stay trained, that you're on top of everything and representing to the highest level possible. Okay, so Chris isn't with us today. He's on a panel, but I just want y'all to know, okay, he's our broker, right? That's his phone number if you don't have it, right? yourforwardbroker@gmail.com is his email address. So if you ever have questions, he's amazing. So please reach out to him. And some of you asked questions regarding our broker number 01872625. That is our corporate broker number. So if Chris were to not be with us tomorrow, that's still our broker number. Okay, that's our corporate broker license. So just want to reiterate that to you. And then also emails, please take note. So we've been having issues with Gmail. I don't have an explanation. We're trying to figure it out. But we woke up yesterday morning and front805@kw.com was deleted. Gmail just took it away. So we're like, okay. So we are working on that, but we always had front desk 850@kw.com. So right now we haven't even been able to recover the emails. There are probably people that are emailing Brenda right now that aren't.
That says 805 though. You need 850?
Oh, shit. Yep, 850. Yeah, I always have a typo once, every team meeting.
It's like same.
So front 850@kw, front 850, right? Is no longer, so front desk 850. So please use that. We sent out an email yesterday. With explaining that. So if you could replace it, that would be amazing. And then also we have changed the system on how we deliver the morning emails, etc. So it comes from me. My email address through, I know this is way too much information, but I gotta tell you anyway. So through our, I don't know what it's called, something, but most of it is going into spam. So people aren't getting emails, people are whatever, so please, so the morning email that goes out at 8:30. So if you're not getting it, please check in your spam to see if it's in there.
Move it to your inbox.
Yes, and then move it into your inbox, report that it's not spam anymore, so you can get our emails. It's been super duper frustrating, but what do you do? So that is a situation, but yeah, a lot of people, it took us how many times, Lynette, to get yours?
Like 5 times, I think.
How is this, I don't even understand. Like even my own emails go in my
What
spam.
we ended up doing was she ended up like removing it and then re-adding the address.
I mean, Google has changed their policy recently that if you're using a third-party emailer, a lot of that's going to spam, because I have a system that emails from me, they did have to do
Yeah.
this whole thing to fix it.
Yeah, and what's interesting is our front 850s, right? We email the office through that, and sometimes we've had it disabled because they're like, oh, you're sending out spam. It's like our office, we've been doing it for years. Why all of a sudden, so that may be one of the reasons, but it gets to everybody. But yeah, we use Active Campaign. So what happens to, a lot of times y'all use the 24K blast, right? When you have a new listing or something that you want to promote to the office, or the 24,000 people we have in our database. So, and it comes from the like, let's say Steve Sachs sends one out. It comes from Steve Sachs's email address, not ours. So sometimes, if you went in, you're like, oh, I don't want to get an email from all these people, I'm gonna unsubscribe. So that's what happens sometimes too, you unsubscribe, not knowing that you unsubscribed from our system. Does that make sense? So I know we get a lot of, true spam email, but please try not to delete in ours or unsubscribe. Yes.
Make a comment about that, just to say, because I'm afraid of that happening, like if I unsubscribe to something, so. Just for all the agents that are in here, a lot of agents send me their neighborhood thing, their thing that they send their clients. And I don't want to get 20 emails from different people in here, like they're trying to get a client, right? I'm an agent in your office, so why are you sending it to me? I just want to put that out there because I'm afraid to unsubscribe because it's gonna screw up the rest of my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to unsubscribe to anything now.
Right.
I mean, I'm also, so I feel very outside.
Well, outside of the company, okay, they don't, they don't know, they don't know, but somebody that's in here that knows me, why are you sending me your marketing piece? I'm just saying that, just make a comment, okay?
But is it the one that's coming from them personally, or the
No,
one that's
it's
coming from
it's-
our active campaign?
It's coming from, they put it into command and made it themselves have a, whatever it's called, a program.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Smart plans, yeah, they did smart plans, thank you, Louisa. Sorry, I don't want to.
I mean, I have my personal opinion about that, I'll just leave it, but, yeah, but I understand, I understand what you're saying, right, but however. I mean, if you have a database of like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people, a lot of times people aren't gonna go in and go, oh, I think she's, you know what I'm saying?
Well, if you use your tags, you have agent, so, okay.
Okay, but yeah, I understand, I understand your thing, okay. Welcome to the Keller Williams Calabasas family. Monica and Claudia, congratulations. Thank you, welcome. For those of you, she's back,
Yeah.
Lisa's back home. She was with our office back in, 2019 is when you left.
Wow.
So she took a little journey and then she came full circle. So super excited, and her team grew. So welcome, and then we have Adam, Kristen, Fred, and Ash. So welcome, Adam, Fred. Thank you. Super excited to have you all here. Okay. It's time for, how do you say it? Oh, homage. Homage box, so come on down, introduce yourselves, super excited to see your product. And then you can, yes, do that, okay.
Oh, we're waiting, I'll just have. Thank you. There's a coupon on the back. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, what's up, everyone? How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm Brian, Jeanette, we started this gift box closing gift for, I guess, in case that you guys have used it for, company this year. We just launched this a few months ago. So thank you, Stephanie, for having us. And we finally met last week after playing email tag and text tag for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm gonna let Jeanette kind of kick things off and show you what we're all about.
All right, so this is a Mod Box. As you can see, it's a curated gifting solution for real estate and outside of real estate as well. Our audience here obviously is real estate, but we are also a great fit for housewarming and other celebratory events and occasions. Our mission at Mod Box is to craft gift boxes that are user-friendly products and tools designed to simplify and elevate the home. Each of the boxes are filled with convenient, thoughtfully chosen and reusable items that add functionality to the household. Given the ideal gift that is both distinctive and enduring is challenging, every box from our studio is crafted as a memorable and cherished gift.
Just we don't have to go too much, but a little bit about us. So we launched this year. We're local. Reason I met Stephanie was I actually work out of the office right next door, the next building, next like where the Pinnacle office is in West Coast Estro. And we're on Sherman Oaks. We have 2 young children, and we just decided that we wanted to start. Jeanette's had this idea a couple years ago while fixing things around the home during the pandemic. Of like, what if we can? I wish more people knew about these little products we were buying that you never think about having, and started a Mod Box. So we're both backgrounds in entertainment, so we're somewhat new to real estate.
Very.
So this is the box that started the whole company. There's actually, it's in her bio. This grout pen is what started the whole thing. One day just regrouting the floor of our bathroom. And the original box idea that we came up with, now we have several to show you, was just functionality for your home. You know, a lot of gift boxes out there, boxes I've received over time are things like single use, like candles, chocolates, coffee, and they're great. But what we want to do is come up with something like products that are usable. And going back to when Stephanie was saying at the top, beginning of the meeting, was like, what can we do to help you guys help you stand out? And think of things a little differently of what separates you and for recall and reusability. So some of the products that we have in this original box are things like when you first move into a home. So think like your first time home buyers that might be moving new to a new area or new home. Like shoe covers, like when you have a plumber come in or a electrician come in, you don't want to mess up your brand new carpeting floors. Furniture markers that if you get scratches that you can scratch it, that you can cover up furniture. Everyone needs WD-40, everyone needs grill. You never have it when you want it. This is one of my favorite ones. We actually just used it the other night. It's for drain clogging for your dishwasher. Like if your dishwasher backs up and you know when water always comes out of the dishwasher, it's a little brush that cleans that out. We found out about that product when we had a plumber come out. We had that issue. We spent $125 for a plumber to come out. They pull out this little tool to push stuff through. It's like, holy crap, we can buy this thing and have it do it ourselves. So that's what started the whole business. And now we've moved into other areas of the home. So we've taken a lot of feedback from realtors, other folks in the business that say, well, that's great, but we don't always want to necessarily give Gorilla Glue to every one of our customers. So we've come with other areas in the home, but the core of the business is always products that are useful and tools for your house that you wouldn't otherwise have to go out and purchase as a one-off. So Jen, you want to talk through these?
Yeah, so after the original homage box, we started thinking other spaces in the home that we would love to receive ourselves and give to others is we focused on the kitchen. And all those tools in the kitchen that you also see on social media, like the fun little gadgets that you don't necessarily always have. You just have the standard stuff, or at least first time homeowners maybe don't have all the fun gadgets as of like just yet. So they're just filled with things of that sort. And then we paired that with a kids kitchen box because a lot of first time homeowners also, or just even buying their forever, not forever, their first, what is it, their
First time buyers.
their starter home. That's what they were. You know, they have younger children that may want to help out in the kitchen, so we have a box curated for kids. After that, we started the yard box, fun little tools, again, things you, as a first homeowner, may not have. I mean, the first thing he bought when we bought our house is a rake.
I need a rake.
He thought he needed a
I've used
rake.
it maybe 3 times.
And no, we've never used the rake. So we're actually putting stuff in there that people would use. And then we have a safety box, which I personally love. We actually came in handy the other day when our fire alarm, smoke detector battery that was at 3 in the
Literally
morning.
at 8:15.
And we needed to
Kids
change
sleep
the
over
battery.
and the kids, yeah.
So we never could find a 9-volt battery ever. And so this just makes it handy on hand. You could just go to quickly. And then finally, we have the bar box. This is more of a sexier box, which is also great for the holidays if you're thinking now about the holiday season. But it's a blend of both wine and, you know, alcohol accessories, if you will. So, you know, you have your salt and sugar rimmer, you have cocktail picks, you have ice ball makers, and just a lot of fun little gadgets that'll just
We have them all set up back here. We can show you guys. We'll stick around after the meeting. But you know, going back to the value we're trying to bring is it's really want to bring value to our customers. And our customers, we're still trying to figure out the best audience for this, but we've kind of identified 3 key areas, one being real estate agents like yourselves, when you have to give closing gifts or holiday gifts or anniversary gifts, whatever it might be, where you want to gift your clients and your partners. Another being housewarming. So we think there's a lot of times people go over someone's home for the first time, they get invited for a holiday party. And we think that these gifts can work really well in that space when you're entering someone's home, bring something for their home. And then the third area is property managers, more on the rental side. So we know that, a lot of management companies, especially at the lease ups and larger new buildings, that they want to have some sort of incentive welcome gift. So that's another key area we're looking at. There's a lot of others. We did one, I think it's on a couple of pages. We did one for an escrow company. Talk about that one in a second about some custom branding you could do. So this is like our challenge, and this is where it's like we need your help with us of like what we can do to make this valuable for you. But our customers are not necessarily our users, and that's something that we're still figuring out. The people who are using it are homeowners, home buyers, renters. That's who's gonna actually end up using the products, but that's not who's purchasing the gift box. Who's purchasing the gift box is gonna be realtors, property managers, corporate gifting. If we do corporate gifting, like this example, which I'll show you. So what we're trying to bring together is like, we really want to help build long lasting relationships. And I think that's one area that we're trying to figure out how we help you as realtors stand out amongst the crowd is, when you need to do referrals and people are asking, who do you like working with? There's a lot of reasons, and that thoughtfulness and that longevity and recall is something we're trying to bring. So that's why the box is sustainable. It's not something you're gonna throw out in the trash. It's made of cardboard. We want people to keep the box forever in their home. We want them to be recalled with your brand on it. And we can talk about custom branding with maybe a magnet, branding the cover, so that there's that constant recall. And someone's like, you have a great realtor. Yeah, you grab their phone number and they quickly remember the box. Or when in the middle of the night, their smoke detector goes off and they remember, oh, thank goodness we have that gift from our realtor. So that's a little bit what we're trying to work on and help you and bring value to what you're doing. If you're spending money on buying a gift, we want to help bring value to you as a gift giver. And then on the custom branding. So we did these for, if you guys know the West Coast Escrow Company. next door, we made them a bulk order that they're gonna be giving out to, I believe they're doing it for new buyers via their seller agents. So it's a gift that they're giving is, as an escrow company, say, thank you for working with us, enjoy your new home. We were able to do custom branding, so we have a screen print right on the box for them. They ended up doing the safety box, and we really loved working with them, and it was fantastic. So that's something that can be done at a larger scale, also at a more of a smaller scale. You'll see our branding back there, our logo on the front, but we can take like your business card and create it into a magnet so that we put it on as a magnet. What we understand is that if you have your information on here, it now becomes marketing materials. So you can now write that off as a tax deductible opportunity. So that's why we've done the magnet. And it's just, great for recall. And there's other stuff we can do to figure out how to custom brand it for you.
And here's our information, but I know we're short on time, so if there's any questions, let us know, or we're gonna be back there and feel free to ask us details or any of it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Super cute. All righty, Miss Linda. So we had too much fun and in Austin, Texas for Mega Camp. But we had great takeaways and Linda's going to share her takeaways with you.
Okay, are you the button pusher? Do you have that I sent you, the PowerPoint that I sent you before? Do
Oh, I forgot about that.
you want to get it up? quickly?
Not really. I don't even know. Let's see.
I mean, I printed it, I can do show and tell if you.
Yeah, hold on a second. I forgot about the last one.
You see what happens? We've killed so many brain cells between then and now. So Mega Camp was cool. If you've never been before, it's actually just a couple of days. It's pretty small and intimate, and I like it because most of it is a conversation with successful realtors, and they do a really good job of giving examples of all the different ways that we're all, creating leads, essentially, whether it's farming or social media or door knocking or open houses. And so they in each of those scenarios of getting clients and farming, they have several different realtor groups, teams, individuals that had success in each of those areas. And so when she finds the email, they did a one sheet on all of those presentations that had the formula of what those people were doing and using. And I downloaded them all into a zip file for you guys. So we'll try to make those available through Brenda. How are we doing, Steph? Do I need to stretch a little bit more? I'll do those first. Gary Keller and our economist gave a presentation. That's what I'm looking for, which I think helps us understand better where we are and why we're there and where we might be going. But I'll just go through some of the different people that had wild success. So on the social media end, this guy in Kansas City, Missouri, has become the hype guy for Kansas City. So he literally takes all of the news feeds, he's posting all the time and then selling real estate through that. The mayor of the city is actually, given him the title of hype guy. And this is a kid that's only been doing it for a couple of years, but he's used social media to do that. And again, he's one of those one sheets that I sent her the zip, so it's not the zip file, it's the PDF. Let me do it this way. That way. That guy. And then the zip is all those that I told about.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do it this way.
So you can. Go back to. I'll let you be the clicker.
Okay, so we're just gonna do it. There we go.
Okay, So again, this was the presentation that Gary Keller and our economist gave as a setup into how it relates to the real estate business. So I will try to do this justice, just remember an economist actually gave this presentation. So this is the GDP over the last 24, 25 years, gross domestic product, which is all the final goods and services that are sold. What's considered good is staying in the 2 to 3% realm. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, Roger, back there. So if you can, so let's, the largest one there is 5.8%. And that was in 21. And the low one in 22.2 down there on this end of it was 2020, so pandemic timeframe. So right now, we're in a okay place, like it's, so you can see it went wildly up and wildly down, and the reason why we're having the rate adjustment and stuff is because of that, to try to get it back in balance so that we don't have a recession. Okay, so you can go to the next, these are the same GDP quarterly. Yeah, and then this is recession possibility or probability. And again, this is an economist, and you can see over the period of years, starting in 1960 on this end and 2024 on this end, you can see the recession probability and what had actually happened, because in the past we know it happened. Generally, the economist is stating we don't usually know that we've had a recession until after we're out of the recession. And then we go, oh, wait, that was a recession. Okay, unemployment. Unemployment, again, the 25-year span, you can see where it's been. We're at the lowest that we've been ever, essentially. This was, I think, as of July, 3.6% lowest unemployment rate. But you can see in years like the 08 to 12, when we had recession, where the unemployment went up. They kind of correlate with each other. If you have questions, let me know. I hope I'm explaining this okay. Next, unemployment monthly. This gives you kind of the same thing. And we've had a really good trend since last year, essentially. So this is January of, or 2 years, January 21 to where we are now. So it was up, I'm sure, as we came out of the pandemic, and then it's now worked its way down to a good rate. Next one is unemployment, job openings. Currently, there are more, so the top line, more job openings than there is those unemployed. So 8.1 million openings, 6.85 unemployed. I was looking at all of this, but this doesn't look bad. Oh, it's pretty good. Okay. Inflation annually, again, from 90, and you know, this crazy blip over here is, guess what? 2020, when it all went crazy with the pandemic. You see it goes up 7. And again, this is the reason why interest rates started going up. There was too much. If there's too much money in the market, if people are spending too much money buying whatever it is, then the inflation rate tends to go up. When it goes up, then in order to cool it, they raise the interest rates to get people to stop spending money. Because the more money we spend, the higher the price goes up.
Inflation was caused by printing, right? Currency.
We're not going to get into the details of that. We're just going on the topic. We're not, but Roger, it's okay. My point of this is not being an economist. My point is this was a setup to kind of get us to where we are and why we are as an industry. And we're going to relate some of that to the industry. We're getting that. Inflation monthly, we can go through these quickly. I don't want Roger. Roger can school all of us later. Okay. So The long and the short of this is we're at a pretty good rate. This gives you an idea of some of the things that are falling in prices, you know, which are mostly consumer goods. Gasoline is in there, that's a good thing. Health insurance, I don't believe it's falling, not based on California. But again, this is nationally, people, not as it relates to California. And then the next slide is things that are rising in costs. And I think housing is in there as one of the rising costs. So yeah,
So
rent or
the things that are
shelter.
falling is things we don't need, and the things that are rising are everything.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's kind of the not Roger-fied view. The state.
You
of the
can tell we're
economy.
trying not to go political here.
Pull
it out, right, everybody?
That's all I can say.
Which, by the way, we're all very capable of doing, but that's not what this is about. Okay, so the next is the actual real estate industry. And again, this is national, people. So this is the total amount of single family home sales in millions. So it's units, not dollars, units, okay? And you can see this over a period of time from 1989 to current. So we're lower, which coincides with, okay, well, we had less listings, less inventory, that makes sense, right? Monthly sales, this is the same kind of look, monthly. Let's move on. This one is always the fun one when we look at this, we can't even relate to this here in California. So this is the home prices annually. This is national median average. So national median average, which is, you know, $400,000. We would be lucky to find a home for $400,000 here.
I don't even know.
But you get the trend. So and again, this is a great graph for your customers in investing and understanding how the value of their property will go up over time. So using this as a why buy is a great graph, I think. And again, you can have a copy of this if you want. I think we're gonna have Brenda make it available, or email it, right? Okay. Home prices, this is the same kind of thing, and again, it's just shown, so we do the annual and then monthly. Inventory is the next one. You can see this is months supply. So this is again on a national basis. So we're currently around 3.2 months supply. And if you see that over last year.
Well, this is.
Yeah, well, so it's comparing so purple is 2023 and blue or turquoise is 2024. So we're kind of comparing the inventory availability month over month from last year to this year. And then it's a projection. New home starts are low. That should probably pick up if interest rates go down a little bit, but you can see from 2005 to now, the last 20 years, essentially. I know.
Holy hell.
So this is an interesting chart. So this also has to do with inventory availability, is that the builder confidence level is not significantly high, although it's getting better. Monthly mortgage rate here. Now, this one is a really good one for you to share with your clients who keep thinking that somehow 3% interest rates are coming back. The likelihood of that is very unlikely. It was lovely and wonderful, and everybody that got it refinanced, it was fantastic. But if you look from 1972 on, the likelihood of that happening, that was the only time it actually happened, was during that period. Okay, so it's just not, that they may come down a little bit, but the likelihood of it getting down to that 3% level anytime soon is not very likely.
Neil Tennant.
Yeah. Sorry. And it, you know, and it takes a bust to get a boom. Okay,
I like that.
Gary, yeah, I can't take credit for it. Gary said it several times. also
That'd
he
be a
said,
t-shirt. Can you
do
have
the
that
work.
t-shirt?
no, it wasn't. So it takes a bus to get a boom, so. And this is, the same kind of monthly from January 15 to now, so you see. We had that very low period. So I think that was the lowest it had been ever before, was January of 15, 3.67%. Okay. This is affordability, so this is mortgage, so the mortgage and insurance as a percentage of income, affordability, national average. Not great.
So wait, tell me that number is.
So here. Which you can't see. So it's mortgage and insurance as a percentage of income. It's not that.
So it's higher than the.
Yeah, I mean,
Rate a bit.
yeah, it's, and we know that, I mean, we know that the price of homes continues to go up and people's income hasn't followed it, so. But people are still buying homes anyway. So affordability was great during that time that those interest rates were lower, and then it just, along with everything else, went crazy.
I mean, for me, all that looks like as soon as there's inventory, this market's going down.
So, okay, well, so there's some projections at the end from
It's exciting.
Mr. Doom and Gloom.
No, I find that exciting.
I think we're up
It's
now.
exciting for buyers, not necessarily
It's
for
exciting
sellers.
for realtors, more transactions. People need us more.
All right, well, I got a slide that will boom that for you. So, oh, it's right there. Did I miss it? Sides per agent. So this is the average deal, sides per agent nationally, if you can see that. From 1978, it was 12.7 to now 5.6 sides, national average per agent.
Wait, what?
So you would, in the annual basis, the average agent, not you, because you're an exceptional agent, just like me, would do 5.6 transactions, essentially, sides they're calling it, but 5.6 now. So, and then you can see up above shows the number of agents with, so the side,
Yeah, but we added.
the more agents we add, the more on average the sides per agent go down, so.
So it'll be interesting from like 22 to, let's say, 25,
Right.
how many agent NAR, sheds.
Yeah, it will be
For sure.
interesting. And again, they're doing a full, 5.6 is the projection, it says that down there. Okay, sorry. Volume per agent, again, is, I can't relate to this. Average is 2.24 million, which that's like one transaction for us here in California. So again, this is the national average. This is a really good one, Mortgage Universe. So 76% of mortgages are 5% or less. Now you could say that's bad because they're not going to want to give up their mortgage and move to buy something else. But if you go to the next slide and look at it as equity, okay, 38% of homeowners own their home outright. 38% have 50% or more in equity, and 24% have less than. So this 3/4 section from that over is great opportunity for people to build wealth by using, and Cindy's talked about this many times before, using the equity in their home in order to buy income property.
That's a remarkable stat.
Yeah. 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 Okay, so, use don't go with the, oh shit, 75% of them have 5% or less mortgage, go with the, oh shit. They all have equity. You know.
8%.
That's right.
That's a-
It's a high number. I think that actually, I got good, 76%.
Well, and that's why I mean, there are some people out there that, you know, the affordability factor, inflation, blah, 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 right? That are having difficulty keeping current with there's not a big number, but if you're coming, you know, that's why it's important to pre-qualify, because there's some people that it's hard for them to have those conversations like, oh, maybe I'm behind a couple months, or maybe I'm behind 3 months or whatever, an NOD has been filed or recorded. So you want to have that conversations with them, because sometimes their ego and their pride they'll lose all the equity that they have built, you know, organically and, you know, artificially too, just through, you know, through the time. So when you're having conversations, because they're out there, like we had a deal that closed and they almost lost 350,000 in equity. You know, just because the conversation had been had early on. Anyway, that's what
Yeah,
she said.
so if you go to the next slide, it just puts Roger's numbers in focus there. So 76% of homeowners have at least 50% equity.
This is huge.
Yeah.
These past two slides,
Hi, Ben.
I love you. By the way, fantastic information. But these two slides that are super huge right now, to Stephanie's point. Homeowners, I mean, there was a stat that I read a couple weeks ago, the amount of bankruptcies being filed are the highest since 2017. So American consumers feeling the crunch.
Yeah.
When people are asking, well, people think doom and gloom, interest rate this, NAR that. But a lot of homeowners don't realize that they're sitting on a ton of equity, which is pushing against the narrative of 2008 when homeowners are getting stressed. They're like dogs a wolf with their paw caught in a bear trap. You know, they're not necessarily knowing that you're there to help. So a lot of coaches like Tom Ferry are coaching their clients to go out and say, hey, when's the last time you've had an equity review on your property? That will start the conversation and let them know that they're sitting on a ton of equity, and you can use that equity for whatever situation to help build your wealth or help get you out of the situation. But that's a great slide as a conversation piece. I would put that on video, throw it all over social media today, and go out and have the conversation. This is great, Kat.
Yeah, this is all from, you walked in, I think, from Mega Campus, so
Yeah,
I can't
Mega.
take credit for anything other than presenting it.
Being the purveyor.
Yes.
You and Roger.
Yeah, me and Roger. Roger wants to have a more detailed conversation. So Roger, this is for you. So this is the economist. So when our economist was asked, so what's gonna happen? This is what happened. Could be scenario number one. And it goes through the unemployment rate, home sales and interest rates, and you can read all of these. So it's kind of if this, then that, right? Two, if the unemployment rate goes up and interest rates fall rapidly, then home sales might go up. You see that? Okay.
Normal recession.
Yeah. So, and then if unemployment goes crazy, to 10%, because remember, we're at like 3.2% right now, unemployed, 3.6% unemployed. Then it becomes a baking recession, and then this would be the bust. Yeah, this would be the bust before the boom. So they gave us 3 different scenarios of what would happen. And again, you guys have access to all of these. Oh, go back. Method, this is so this is actually good. The method that people are using to purchase homes is an agent or a broker, essentially. There was, I don't even know what the other was in there, but this year in 2023, we had no other. So I don't know what other was. So it's either an agent, a builder, so a new home through that builder's agent, or by owner, FSBO. Yeah.
89%.
So that's good news for realtors. Okay. I don't know if you want to go through this NAR simplified. I don't want to go. Thank you.
No.
Yay! Okay, so just quickly again to go through, and Stephanie has these in the zip that I sent, so they called it the playbook. Every one of the presenters, had, a one sheet that they put together of their method and what they do with that. Some of the interesting ones, I was telling you about the guy that's the hype guy for Kansas City. His link is in there. There was one woman that was farming, but she was farming her kids' high school. So there were 2,100 students and she just totally involved herself in all the school activities with the kids. And that's where 90% of her business comes from. I'm like, genius, farms and school. She has to go there anyway. Right? There were people that were using open houses as more of a social community event by bringing in an ice cream truck, and they paid for the ice cream truck, but they solicited, you know, around the neighborhood, and then also had the open house, which I thought was a really great way of getting contacts in business. And all these people, by the way, Gary doesn't interview them unless they're doing 100+ units a year, you know. These are really busy people and teams, right? There was another entrepreneur who had a specific type home, very specific, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, certain type of foundation that he wanted to flip. And he solicits clients based on that, and he offers them either a price that he would pay right now, cash done, or yes, Mr. Homeowner, you know, if we put it on the open market, we'll probably get a little bit more for you. And then he just takes the listing. So either way, he wins because he's either buying cash and he sticks to the specific type of home, which I thought was really good and interesting. Because he knows what he can do with it, how quickly he can turn it, and the type of money he can get for it. So a lot of different ideas on that. I'm not going to go through all of that. But very, very inspiring, and it's a quick couple of days. I suggest everybody go next year because it's always really interesting. And to watch Gary Keller work and talk and interview people for 8 hours a day is just amazing. The man is very inspiring. Okay, thank you guys.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, next year it's going to be in San Antonio.
You're gonna have to find a new country. Anyway, we'll have to go ahead and go.
We'll find one. I'm sure. Yeah, because Austin, I think I shared this with y'all. That they're redoing the convention center and all that kind of stuff, so it's gonna be at a commission in downtown Austin for 2 years. It's construction, so it'll probably be 4 years, something. It'll take them some time. So I know we're pressing, so I just wanted to share a couple things that my takeaways on it, and I briefly touched upon it at the beginning. But the luxury agents there, the main one, I just believe his name just escaped, Brady, Sandoval said, he calls them pre-engagement conversations, right? I love that term, instead of like pre-qualification, pre-engagement. Because it's all, you know, it's all about the delivery. It's all about how you think about it, so on and so forth. So, and the next thing he said is luxury agent is the level of service you deliver and what we know. Because a lot of times people think, oh, I want to be a luxury. Huh? Oh, I feel like I heard something. Oh, Alan, what? Is he saying something? On purpose. I'm like, okay.
Sorry.
In my head, but it's happening. Yeah, so a lot of times people, you know, I'm a luxury agent because I sell a $2 million property or a $4 million property or whatever the case may be. And no, his definition is a luxury agent is the level of service you deliver and what we know. And what have we been talking about, you know, selling your expertise and really we have to elevate the service that we bring to our clients. So I'm just gonna go through the bullet points and then we'll go on. I know we have probably about another 7 minutes, possibly. Be their real estate agent for their real estate needs. Don't just think one-dimensionally. The level of questions you ask determines your price point. So let that one sink in a little bit, right? Because remember we talked about, you know, really digging deep on the questions. So you know what their true needs are and desires are, etc. So the level of questions you ask determines your price point. So get out of your own way in the questions that you ask. Okay, stay in the mess. People are afraid of the messy conversations, right? And that kind of goes back to what we mentioned earlier today about confrontation, right? It's not a bad word. It's just sometimes you're having a conversation that you may rather wait till the last minute to have, right? Because it may be difficult, but remember, change the way you look at things, right? And make you look at change. So the level of stay in the mess, people are afraid of the messy conversations. Don't be afraid to stay in it, stay in the chaos. It is about the consumer, not about you. Right? It is about the consumer. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, especially when we're, a lot of people are getting commission bribes right now. Right? Oh my God, I better just take this. Maybe it's 1%. I'll do this. There's a lot of uncertainty and we're coming from a place of fear instead of a place of strength. Stay engaged. Consistency, it's up there still from Linda. Do the work. Get to work.
Nothing comes for free. Nothing comes if you don't invest the time.
And remember, because if you're not talking to your past clients, your database, somebody else is. So you might as well be the one that is top of mind always. Positive attitude is not an option. It is a requirement. It is a requirement. Where you put your energy is where you put your focus. We are on this journey together. We come through this together. We are charging the storm together and setting the standards. Opportunity plus talent equals success. So I'm going to leave it at that because I know we have a lot to go. Oh, you want to stand up so people know you're the gal?
So here, let's see, everybody can make.
Beautiful girl.
Oh my God, it's cute. Look over there, everybody.
They're so cute.
So, yeah, so I sent an email to everyone in the office, so I hope you got it and it didn't go to your spam. But, we are having a little pop by, baby shower, for Lexi on Thursday and we're gonna have little snacks and something to eat. Please RSVP since we're doing food if you can, but if you just wanna come by, it's great. I have a flyer here, she's registered here, and it was so fun. So my little baby boys are all in their 30s. And so I haven't been a babysitter in a long time, but I went and I'm like, OMG. Okay, it's so cute. Anyway, they have so much stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna have the flyer over here and it's her aunties and Uncle Kurt. So me, Danielle, Jasmine, Linda, and Stephanie are. So come and get a flyer. We love you. Yeah, I'm gonna put some up here if anybody wants a flyer.
All right, thanks for coordinating this, Christine. Okay, so just for important dates, September 16th, next Monday, 2 to 4, it's invite only. So watch out for your phone. And I know you're all on your phone. So I'll be sending, it's for the top tier agents in the office. I don't mean that with any disrespect to anybody else, but it's a private session with Chris Vogt on Monday, 2 to 4, September 17th. Everyone is invited. We're doing a 10 a.m. with Chris Vogt. He's coming here personally. Town hall, we're going to go through Q&A. We're going to do some role playing, all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend each and every one of you being here. September 17th, Brenda is doing her book club. Our next team meeting is on the 24th. Please keep your eyes open. We have 2 business planning clinics happening in October. We're doing them a month earlier this year because really, remember when we hit October, we're working on first quarter, right? We're working on first quarter business of 2025. So we want to know what we're striving for in 2025. So that's why we opted to do them earlier. I just need to confirm October 2nd is the regional business planning clinic. And then we're shooting for probably the 15th of October with Chris Vogt. And I'll keep you apprised on that. And might as well put in your calendar now, holiday party.
Yay.
Holiday party on December 12th, Zen. Unless anybody wants to have it anywhere else.
Surprise.
I know, it just works.
I think it's great for us. It's my place, where it was like.
Yeah.
It's a great event.
So yeah, Zen in
I
Westlake.
didn't know the way we were very down already. That's great.
I know, so, oh, that's what I want to tell you all. I'll hurry up. Okay, so some of you heard me say this, some of you have not. Okay, we're September. We have 3.5 months left of 2024. So really take this time to reflect, right? Say, okay, am I at goal? Am I ahead of goal? Am I behind? Where am I? Right, not behind, but behind in your goals and where you want to be. So then look at, because you know what's happening? We have some people that are probably starting to check out right now. It's the holidays. We're in the holiday season, right? So as soon as Labor Day, everyone's like starting to focus on other shedizzles. So make sure you look at your calendar. What days am I really, just look at from now to the end of the year, what days am I working? What days am I taking off? And then look at how many days you are gonna be working, and then how many contacts that you need to make during those days that you are working, so you can stay focused, you can stay disciplined, and you can stay on track. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Okay, that's your homework. Oh, happy birthdays. Woo! Happy birthday to all the September babies. Ride your horn with September 1st. Woo! And when
Years old.
you turned the 6-0?
6 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Grandpa.
That's right. And
Grandpa.
ah,
I met my baby this spring.
I know. Congratulations. That's so awesome. So super excited for everybody's birthdays. We got Eileen coming up on the 15th. And then Jonathan has a birthday this month. I'm trying to think who's all in here. Lexi. Where's Lexi?
Oh, look at your.
Oh, there you are. September 30th. Woohoo! So happy birthday to all the beautiful September babies. Happy anniversary to, look at that. Doug Schmidt's been with KW for 16 years. Eileen 13. Karen Samesh 10. So just super excited for everybody and thank you for your commitment to our office and to Keller Williams in general. So just really appreciate each and every one of you. We had a great, honey, this is what I was talking about. Okay. So look at all the deals. Oh, hey, so all you know, KW Calabasas Estates, remember when we had that little logo shedizzle?
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah, it's all approved. Our DBA is in there. So congratulations to all our amazing people that did close deals in August. So congratulations. So your huge contribution, really much appreciated. Actually, August was our biggest closing month so far and our biggest company dollar thus far. And just want to let you know, we had Keller Williams Calabasas was #1 in the region for recruiting in August. So thank you for your contribution for that. But we, like I said, we're looking for just world-class talent and people that are just looking to set the standards and know that Keller Williams Calabasas is where it's at, baby.
Scott, can you put Alan out of there so I can take a picture of that?
Yeah, that would be
Thank
great.
Thank you.
Sorry, Alan. Okay, Louisa, do you have any updates or anything you want to share?
Yes. You can hear.
Who?
Edward, closed his very first deal.
Aw.
I'm not sure if the response is on it, but Rashawn is actually closing her very first deal and is on her second deal and working on her third deal and about to graduate, which is that, like, literally the last 9 days.
Wow.
So she like wants this bad, and then, what else I have? The fifth now, and then Anne is working on her third deal with the program, and I'm about to give her a call too, so if you guys know anyone that would love to be in our program, talk to me or talk to me, and that's very good.
You okay? All right, awesome, great job, Lisa. Congratulations, Ed. Congratulations, LaShawn, and super excited for you, Anne, getting ready to graduate as well. And we appreciate all Louisa's hard work and dedication and passion. Okay. The fall book club is on the 17th with Brenda, so make sure you have your book. Oh, Team Selleck is 100%. Congratulations, Team Selleck. Nothing better than get 100%. And then the Galoons group, Alex and Yana, congratulations on getting your 100%. It's nice. And then Calabasas Escrow, thank you all for your support, goalie. And then we actually hired a new assistant, Karina. So I'll be making that introduction to you next. I was gonna say next Thursday. I don't know if I'm saying that. Next team meeting. So thank you again for my powerful Rockstar Agent Leadership Council, ALC. I appreciate you all immensely. That's this next week's calendar. Oh, I knew I had it in there twice. House America, you have a quick update?
Quick update. Okay, so I just pre-approved somebody for that new Easy Move program, and this was the perfect client. Because the guy was like some super busy executive type who could never find time to talk to me, to have the initial conversation. I talked to the wife, she gave me the scoop. I sent out a proposal. They wanted to buy a $2.7 million home. Their current home's worth, I don't know, 1.7 or whatever. And apparently I heard from the agent that they're hoarders. So they, getting their place ready to sell is not gonna be an easy thing. They don't wanna, they have very little money to put down. They're thinking they're gonna have to sell their house first, but I showed them otherwise. So I put together this worksheet to send them to show them that they can get the $2.7 million house without a penny down. And then I tried to get him on the phone to talk him through the numbers, couldn't get him to the phone. The wife says to me, "This looks complicated. Isn't there an easier way?" And I said, "Yeah, you can sell your house first. That's the easier way, but don't just give up on this without understanding how this option works." And then I did I could have had a V8 and I said, "Let me do a video." So I did a video explaining all the numbers to them. One day during a long drive home, the busy executive guy called me, husband, and said, "I like your plan. Let's do it." Finally, because they have no time, so they might as well do this loan. And then they can take all the time in the world to fix up their departing residence, not have a penny out of pocket, get their new home. Beautiful. So that's idea number one. Number two, I've been talking to people who are, we've been talking to fence sitters for a very long time. And for a long time, it was hard to say they're not better off renting because rents were so good. But have you noticed that rents aren't so good anymore? Rents are going up. Rates are coming down. Not only are rents going up, but my daughter is trying to get into a rental house, is going through so many semantics trying to get in. They are asking for more stuff than lenders ask for to qualify them to rent a house. So it is insane. If anybody who can qualify to get a home should be seriously thinking about buying.
Get somebody out, get a renter.
Pardon?
It's easier to foreclose than to get the renter out.
Wow, yeah, okay. So another idea with my adult daughter in mind, who would love to own a home someday, but doesn't have, the down payment, is if you have parents of older kids who have a lot of equity, there's 75% of them at least out there, then you can talk to them about this idea where they get a reverse mortgage, where they can get a bucket of money, and with that bucket of money, gift the down payment to their kids so they can buy their own home, rather than the kids waiting until the parents die before they can finally get an inheritance and buy a house, and not having to worry about their home losing equity because of the reverse, because the kids got their own home now. So a reverse mortgage or a reverse second mortgage to give them money to help the kids get into a home, great idea. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.